There's a point to starving in the wilderness. David is number one. No one dares to be number two. He is a person who will not any competitor of wilderness survival skills, but such a player, by faith. After 66 days on Vancouver Island, even Roland and Jordan admitted that they were ashamed. Let's take a look today. What are the beliefs that underpin David? When he was in a game of survival bosses, losing streak. In real life, 50-year-old David worked as a pastor for 15 years. Middle-aged man divorces his wife, bring 3 babies alone. The purpose of participating in the competition is very clear, just to save some tuition for the kids. The first time I gave him a picture was on the 6th day. From the surface, this uncle in his 50s, there's nothing particularly special about it. Kind face, but there is a tenacious belief in the eyes. Before he came, David was determined to die. Must win the championship. 6 days to come. David has solved water and fire, and the question of accommodation. Fortunately, the venue for this season's competition is around Vancouver Island. It can be hit twice, but want to survive longer. He has to find other food to hunt. I know 10 things, 9 things I don't know. The easiest way he could think of was to fish. I happened to pick up the rope on the shore a few days ago. That would be useful. After lushin, hanging small crabs picked up on the shore as bait. Throw it directly into the water. This is how he sees other people fishing. As for whether it can be harvested or not, it depends on luck. However, on the 7th day, he came to check the fishing traps with anticipation. As a result, in addition to a lump of seaweed hanging on it, no other gains. What's even worse is that he originally tied for fishhooks. Now there are only 3 left. You know, the program team sent a total of 9 fishhooks to the contestants. Every one less means one less chance of winning. But the good news is that the crab bait was eaten up. Infer from this, the sea fish where he is, there is still hope of catching fish. The time has come to the 8th day. Only hesitation was punched by David's obvious sales, trying to win $500,000 on faith alone. This is a dream come true. So the first time David got up is to go to the shore to check the fishing nets. As a result, when he got to the place, he took a look. Not only are there no people in the fishing net, and because of the way I arranged it, it was rusty. As a result, the fishing net was stranded on the shore at an unknown time. Seeing this, David could only laugh at himself helplessly. Although I made up for it before I came, survival knowledge, but I didn't expect it to actually work. Since you haven't been able to get food for several days in a row. So David decided to explore the new map first. Find a suitable location to build a long-term shelter. All the way along the coastline. About 2 kilometers. Found a feng shui treasure. It's facing the sea and spring flowers are blooming. Can both fish and net. It was tailor-made for him in order to increase the chance of catching fish. After David moved the shelter over, ready to weave another fishing net. Materials used to weave fishing nets. It's the rope he picked up on the shore at the beginning. Although this is the first time weaving this thing. But the good thing is, David, remember the recipe for weaving fishing nets by heart, while silently reciting one up and one down the line. Walk and cross. The size of the iCloud army is fixed. Don't panic when knitting beams. Finish the lock and turn around. So David kept busy until the 9th day. All the fresh water he drinks comes from rainwater. It has not rained for several days now. Therefore, David's body was severely dehydrated. He can burn fat without food to replenish his strength, fat and muscle tissue. But the human body cannot produce water out of thin air. And dehydration can also cause narcolepsy. Helpless, David can only temporarily give up the task of finding food. Focus on replenishing fresh water. To avoid drinking raw water directly, cause parasites. David went out of his way to collect branches, used as ignition material. A small flame rose. But just when he was ready. When boiling water, one accidentally overturned the iron pan. Freshly boiled water umbrella? So unlucky. Who would have thought? A clumsy uncle who can't even boil water. Will he be the future champion? On the 10th day, David's situation not only did not improve, and there was a bigger blow. Early in the morning he came to check the fishing nets. As a result, not only did they fail to harvest fish, the fishing net was rolled up by the waves. If it is replaced by other players with a bad mentality, under a series of blows, call the withdrawal number early and go home to enjoy. But David's eyes were determined. Keep instilling chicken soup for the soul in yourself. He had to keep going. Not just to win the $500,000 jackpot, more because he is a father. Tired of lying to children. I'm sick of being the dad that always has to say no. Hey, can we go out there? No, you can't. That kind of no, you can't. Can't afford it, can't afford it, can't afford it. It's like a new direct reaction with me because I've been so broke all year. It is for this reason. David was determined to die. Can't win $500,000. He wouldn't make a withdrawal call even if he starved to death. Time has come to day 12. In his spare time, David sits on the shore, staring at the water tower in a daze. He never imagined that the water tower would be as big as a dog. Play freely in the water like this every day. If you are hungry, go down to catch seafood to fill your stomach. They never had to pay for the mortgage, car loans, and various living expenses to worrying about. Every day I think about how to be on this land, survive. So far. So David can think of the most efficient way to get food. Just fishing. Since the fishing net did not meet his expectations, then try fishing. There may be unexpected results. Soon he found a suitable piece of fishing. The water here is clear. You can see fish swimming underwater. But unfortunately David fished for more than 3 hours in a row. I can't see the fish biting the hook. However, just when he had no hope of fishing. And there was a fish on the hook. Yeah, baby. It's been 12 days since David was here. Harvested first bite of protein. Although this fish is not big, but it can replenish him. Many of the most scarce fats today. The fish is processed on the shore. Can't wait to get back to camp. Cooking delicacies over a fire. The edible part, David, is not wasted at all. Stewed a pot full of fresh fish soup. In one bite, the sweet taste goes straight to the back of the head. Eat this pot of fish soup. David has enough empty periods. Keep looking for food. It's just that what he didn't expect was, the good days lasted half a day. On the 13th day, there was a hurricane at David's location. Wave after wave on the sea. In this case, let alone setting up fishing nets, even fishing can't proceed normally. The only thing he can do now is a dog, waiting for calm in the shelter. However, this wait lasted until the 20th day. There are still 7 players on the field. Although the wind and waves on the sea have not completely subsided, but it's much better than it was a few days ago. David is really hungry. Decided to go out and try my luck, try it off, but lost most of the day in a row. He didn't even see a single fish hair. After returning to the camp, David can only continue to eat twice, 20 days. His main source of food is this stuff. Shell next to the camp has been piled up into a hill. Although yerba can relieve hunger, but the protein content is almost zero. Even if you eat more, the big stomach can also clearly feel the abdomen hunger. Looks like I want to survive until I end up with $500,000. He has to catch fatty fish. I have a little strength after eating twice. And David got into nets again. After the fishing net is woven, before the sun goes down, he quickly set up to the shore to try fishing. Unfortunately, due to the shallow layout, I waited until day 22, except for a pile of seaweed on the fishing net. No other gains, no matter how good his fishing net is. Unfortunately, the layout is rusty and it is difficult to gain anything. Clean up the seaweed on the fishing net. David saw being swept away by the waves. Very worried. If this half-ton, heavy logs flew through his fishing nets, that fishing net would have been torn to shreds on the spot. So he tied the umbrella rope to the end of the log. Try dragging it somewhere else, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to eat serious food for a long time, so that he can't use any strength all over his body. It took the effort of a cow. The log is still unknown. Helpless David, the rope can only be fixed to a dead log on the shore. Pray that the worst doesn't happen. However, whatever the person is afraid of, he will come. Day 23. David comes again to check the nets. Wait until he gets there. The scene in front of him made him stunned. There was a hurricane last night. Swept the entire field again. 2 fishing nets. Ruthlessly destroyed by yesterday's log. If it were a player with a bad mentality, suffering from this series of blows, I can't quit the game long ago. But David has made no progress. For the sake of the children, he broke his teeth and went hungry. Looking at the mess on the ground, David just took a deep breath of fresh air. Then silently pick up the fishing net, return to camp and start mending. And then the repaired nets. Rearranged to original location, although he knew it would be in vain. But other than that, David can't imagine how else can he harvest protein. Time has come to day 24. David came to the shore as usual to inspect the fishing nets. No surprises. Or did the log destroy his expectations? What do you mean by crying without tears? Just look at David's expression at this time. Pray for my kids every night, and I really miss them. To change their lives, to make their lives easier. Such a starving life. It continued until the 31st day. David has already saved 5 contestants. Hungry and eager, he plans to start attacking kelp. This stuff is rich in calcium, iron, fiber, Kc and other substances. Not only can it increase satiety, but also prevent constipation. But it's rich in thyroid disease patients. Intake should be controlled according to the doctor's advice. Wait until day 32. David's survival journey has finally taken a turn for the better. He actually found traces of crabs on the shore. This stuff is notoriously delicious. The catch method is much easier than fishing. Just hang up the bait and wait. Once the bait is caught in the crab's claws, they won't let go if you kill them. Then David used the double as bait. I'm going to give it a try. I never expected the effect to be surprisingly good. He caught one in less than 5 minutes. And then the second one. The third one is just an hour. David only harvested 6 proteins. The joy of the harvest also made him very happy. AK can't hold back the corners of his mouth with a smile. This is also what David has been doing since the 12th day, after eating a fish, protein for the second time. This shows how terrifying his starvation skills can be. The time has come to day 35. David is blessed with crab and kelp. You look obviously better. However, that person's luck came and he couldn't stop it. Today he caught 5 kilograms of crabs as usual. Accidentally harvested a pickled strip weighing less than 5 kilograms. Although the fish and crabs taste delicious and the meat is sweet, but the fat content is not as real as fish. While your hands are hot, Big Stomach intends to chase after victory, catch 2 more and store them. After a while, another unlucky egg entered the account. 2 proteins in a row. Let the Big Stomach get a little carried away. Drop the 2 fish directly on the shore, and he started working on the 3rd fish. If there is no accident, there will be an accident, just as he harvested his 3rd fish. Looking back, the Linon was stunned on the spot. The 2 fish that were just placed on the shore, long gone missing. David wonders if the water tower did it. The eagle in the sky. The protein that I finally got my hands on, but cheaper for others. This bullies David enough. Directly in place, the broken room is facing the camera break. The time has come to day 36. David has gone from being a newcomer who knows nothing. Shelby was forced to become a fisherman, considering that crabs like to eat fish heads as bait. So he decided to catch 2 fish first, then use the fish head and internal organs to catch the crab. Just arrived at the shore for a while. He caught 1. You can't do that very skillfully. Soon, the second item was also successfully credited with the teaching of throwing fish last time. Train David to handle the fish directly this time. Put it in your pocket and keep it. The remaining bones and internal organs hanging on a rope as bait, ready to take on the crabs. But when he threw his right ear out, 1 accidentally used too much force. The copper wire shaft connected to the right ear was directly thrown into the water by him. This makes David feel bad. The rest of the department hurried down and salvage. The whole person fell into the water. You know, surviving in the wild. My worst fear is having room temperature sickness. Although it hasn't snowed yet, but the temperature at this time is only 10 degrees. After picking up the occasional fishing line, David ran straight back to camp. Take off your clothes and dry them. A few days after seeing each other, David can only wait until his body warms up. In the blink of an eye, day 51 has arrived. After mastering a series of survival skills, David's life gradually got back on track. Compete wits with surrounding fish and crabs for a long time. He even figured out what the other party liked to eat: flavored shellfish. He started his daily fishing mission. The fishing position here is not good. He immediately replaced other fishing positions. He won't be as dead-brained as he was when he set up the fishing net before. When changing 3 positions, 3 crabs were successfully credited. After a losing streak, David is finally picking up the dishes. On the 52nd day, there was another hurricane on the field. The temperature on Vancouver Island has plummeted. Encounter such weather, David can only keep the dog in the shelter, collect firewood for the winter. He doesn't know how long he's going to be here, but winter is coming soon. He needs to be prepared in advance. In the afternoon, there was hail in the sky. David couldn't help but start worrying about his future life. Once the temperature drops to the tipping point, if you think about it, fishing becomes very difficult. He has to find a way to store enough food for the winter. Wait until day 54. David began to miss his 3 children. Others are homesick. There is a high probability that it is not far from the latter, but the more David thinks about children, the stronger his belief to continue. His plan today is to collect some branches, a material that is convenient for ignition after cooling down. First, the branches are put into the shells and burned. Add sawdust and stir. And when it solidifies, it forms a flammable flame. The time has come to day 57. To make it easier to extract shellfish from rocks, David specially made a nail from the iron he picked up. Word like this: the speed at which he collects the bait has been greatly improved. And he came ashore. Become a fisherman and start fishing. Same as before. This fishing position will be immediately converted to the next fishing position on foot. Soon he won the competition. The biggest word. And this fish is a crucial one. He's worth $500,000 because at this moment, only David and 1 other player were left on the field. The time has come to day 58. Today, David successfully credited to more fish. The game is going on so far. The test is the mentality of the players. David certainly has no problem with this. The only thing that worries him is whether your body can achieve physical examination standards. The time has come to the 60th day. David felt himself getting weaker and weaker. Pain can be felt in many parts of the body, and this is really bad news. He also accidentally hurt his knee while fishing today. He couldn't go out fishing for the next few days. He had to lie in the shelter and recuperate. On the 66th day, David was notified of the physical examination of the program team. Now he was extremely nervous. In order to meet the requirements of the program team, he was willing to drag his sick body to the shore, try fishing. Fortunately, it didn't take long for him to catch one, but it hasn't come yet, and the dinghy of the cooking crew appears in the picture. After a series of inspections, David's blood pressure is a little low, due to chronic malnutrition, so he starts to breathe a little bit now. Here the doctor's diagnosis. David thought he was going to be forcibly separated, so he quickly explained that he still had food. After eating it, your body will return to normal, but after seeing the program team listen to his story, still indifferent, David's heart went up to his throat. Then he turned to the camera, constantly pleading with the program team. Let yourself hold on for a few more days and see. It's just that he doesn't know the reason why the program team is like this. At this moment, only David was left on the field. Just then, David accidentally posted, "I saw my name." Now everything is clear. He knew he had done it. The promise to the children has been fulfilled. Welcome Shanna to change the family's $500,000. Unlike other championship winners, David didn't cheer as much as he could. There was just depressing silence. I did this for you guys, supporting David through this difficult 66-day journey. It's love for children. If Jordan Roland's journey to the championship is impressive because of their superb hunting skills and excellent survival skills, and David's memorable point, it's his touching fatherly love. It is said that maternal love is the lowest support of life. He can be a bowl of hot porridge on the table in the morning. It's medicine that's stuffed into your luggage when you travel far. And fatherly love is a deep and unique emotion. It is a father's unique love for his children. He may not be as dangerous and delicate as a mother's love, but equally profound. From then on, David took action. Let the family of for achieve wealth freedom.